Hey, Dave, you all came from behind to get the win. How did you take advantage of the deep backs' defensive errors tonight?
Yeah, it was one of those things that I thought Will had a really good at bat right there and lined the ball to Rojas and just dropped it. You don't see that very often, but allowed us to tack on an extra run. I think that it did. But yeah, I mean, I just thought that collection, that inning of at bats was really next level. It started with the CT walk, I think. Just kind of keeping the game close, playing them tight, and adding on with the bullpen. So it was just another Dodger win. I thought Clayton was really good tonight, and the pen did their job. So it was really well-played baseball game on our side.
And when you took out Clayton there in the sixth to put a pinch hitter in, what were you seeing from his outing up until that point?
I thought it was good. 8 punch, 6 innings. I think Clayton will say it wasn't his best stuff, but this guy, Clayton, every time he takes him out, he's going to be prepared and compete. And 6 innings, 2 runs, 8 punch, pretty good outing. And I just felt right there. I thought he had potentially one more inning left, but right there we were down. So I just felt it was time to go to the pen. Luke had a good at bat, got on base, and we couldn't push him across right there in that 6. But yeah.
And how special was it to see Kenley Jansen get the save tonight and move up on the franchise leaderboard?
I didn't know that. That's great, and congratulations to Kenley. And I know he's going to be in more positions to keep moving up that board. His stuff was really good. His stuff's been really good, and to close it out tonight, to win that third game in this series was really good to see.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Mike DiGiovanna. Go ahead.
Dave, as much as you like to get some big hits and some barrel balls, how much did good fortune play a role in that 7th inning?
Yeah, it did. I think that, the Albert ball, he was trying to call timeout, I think, on that pitch and got jammed and, first baseman goes back and would have been a heck of a play, but we caught a break. And that's sometimes baseball. And, we made some nice defensive plays, though. Austin made a play earlier. I thought the Muncy play to CT was a big play. So, we got a little good fortune, but also we created some breaks by making some plays ourselves.
We've talked about this a couple times this year, but it just seems like he's combining that confidence with execution right now. Are you seeing something that kind of reminds you of a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think that he's worked really hard to really get back to where he needs to be. And Kenley is a strike thrower. I think that there was some outings that he just wasn't right, didn't have the command. But this guy his pedigree as a strike thrower, getting ahead and putting guys away. And that's what he's done all year for us. So I'm not surprised. And he's a big part of what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question is from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, on the Muncy Taylor play specifically, what was your vantage point of that? What did you see, Taylor's footwork at first and just the whole play in general?
I just saw Muntz be aggressive to get to it, and I didn't see Chris come into play. He just kind of came out of nowhere, and it seems like every night I'm saying something he does well for us, and he's just a baseball player, and to get to the spot and the footwork around the bag, it was a big play right there.
Do you think in general, just like maybe the last week, maybe 2 weeks, your defense has played a little better than maybe it did a little earlier on?
Yeah, I don't know if we could have played much worse, given our talent. So I think I think that's fair. I think the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty good defense across the board.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Dave, you talk about catching a break tonight. Does this feel like a game you would have lost 2-1 a couple of weeks ago?
I think so. Playing at home, you can feel the fans a little bit of pressure that they put on the opposing pitcher. And when we can shrink the strike zone down to take a walk, keep running counts, good fortune seems to happen at home. You look back at some games in the last few weeks we didn't kind of close the gap or take the lead or cash in when we had opportunities. So like I said a few days ago, I just think the tide's turned and we've got some good mojo going on in our clubhouse.
Yeah, how important was winning 7 of 8 on the homestand to get that positive momentum?
Yeah, it was important because clearly we didn't play good baseball on the road. And, we got to finish this one out tomorrow. But going up to San Francisco, team that's playing really good baseball, and then going to Houston. So to take care of business at home is very important.
Thanks, Dave.
Got time for one more. Go ahead, Fabian.
Hey, Dave. Just to go back to Kenley. I mean, the velocity and the stuff, I know you mentioned it was good tonight. I mean, he's had outings where, like, in the middle of an outing, he'll sort of pick up that velocity. Is that stuff that he's sort of is doing intentionally, or is that just sort of as he's sort of getting into an outing, sort of having that stuff pick up?
I'd like to say it's not intentionally. I hope it's not intentionally because, when you're the closer, that first pitch, every pitch is important. So Kelly's a big guy. We've seen over the last 6 years his velocity does fluctuate, but I'd like to think he's a max effort guy and he's a command guy. And so when he's doing things right, synced up with his delivery, the ball has some unique characteristics and there's swing and miss. So I just want Kenley to keep doing what he's been doing.
Thanks, Dave.